Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Maria Rives, and I am your child's AP World History teacher for this school year. I wanted to film this video in case you wanted to come to open house but were unable to make it. This video is for me to go over all the things that I would have said at open house. So first off, I will be your child's teacher this school year. I'm so excited about this school year. And I am here to do everything I can to help your child take and pass the AP exam. Since this is an AP World History course, the goal is that your child signs up to take the AP exam, takes it in May, and then passes so that they earn college credit in their future. And they won't have to take a world history class in college, which will save them time and money. This is my 8th year teaching AP World History here at Austin High School. Before I taught at Austin, I worked at a charter school in Houston for about 7 years. And I am currently an online adjunct instructor for Angelo State University, where I teach intro to psychology courses, developmental psychology, and child psychology courses to college students online. This year, I am teaching AP World History with Miss Karen Rawbone. She is also in A-Hall. So if your child gets a schedule change, they might be moved into Miss Rawbone's room or to my class, depending on what goes into their schedule change if they need to switch class periods or something. And we have our tutorials written on the screen. If your child needs any help this year, they can come to tutorials and see me or Miss Rawbone. They do have a tutorial pass, which is paper. The kids can't have cell phones out this year, so we made them a tutorial pass if they need to come see us in the morning. And our tutorials are going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And they have the times written on the tutorial pass, and we have them on Schoology as well. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about was, since this is AP World History, your child is hopefully going to be taking the AP exam on Thursday, May 7th, 2026. Everything we do in this class is preparing the students to be ready to take and pass this exam. So in order to take that test, your child has to first sign up. And sign up for the AP exam happens in October. The students sign up for the exam on the AP Classroom website, which I'll talk more about in a moment, and they will pay their exam fee on RevTrack. And I will be sending many more emails about this as we get closer to October. Right now, your child probably does not feel very ready to take the AP exam. However, everything we do in this class is preparing them for the exam. So even though they don't feel ready in this moment, they will feel ready in May. If they put forth effort, if they're doing the assignments and participating in class, they will feel ready. And at Austin High School, we've had a very consistently high passing rate for the past several years. Last year and the previous year, we had 95% of the students in my class passed the AP exam, and about 80% of them got either a 4 or a 5, which is the highest you can get on the exam. So, I'm showing you all this information just to kind of, indicate that if your child does what they're supposed to do in the class, they will pass. The statistics are on their side, and they will pass. Even if they don't feel ready, I would encourage almost every child in this class to take the AP exam. The only ones I wouldn't encourage to take the exam are the ones that are getting dropped from the course and they're just waiting for their paperwork to go through. But otherwise, the students should definitely take the AP exam, and I will be sending out information to you about how to sign up for the exam once that becomes available. Sometimes students ask for review books that they recommend for studying for the exam. They really don't need one until like March, but the books that I recommend are first the AMSCO book, which is the blue one. That book is already on Schoology. The kids don't really need a physical copy because we have all the PDFs on Schoology. But if they want to buy a book that has practice questions in it, I've purchased this Princeton review book for my own child who is taking AP World History this year. This one is the Princeton Review. As long as you're buying one that says Modern, AP World History Modern, or that it's from 2020 or later, you're fine. This was $21 on Amazon. So I bought this one for my child. If you want to purchase one for your child in like Marchish, that's fine. And if your child wants to take a picture of the book that I have so they know which one to buy, they can do that in class. Okay, just some kind of general information from the syllabus. Whoops. As you know, cell phones are not permitted this year. Headphones and earbuds should be put away. We have not had a problem with that so far in class, so I'm not super concerned at the moment. I did want to say if the students are using their laptop inappropriately in class, as in they're playing games in class, then they will lose opportunities to earn extra credit. They won't be eligible for extra credit. So maybe just remind your child if you suspect that they are playing games in class, just remind them, hey, you won't earn extra credit if you're playing games in class with Ms. Rives. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was makeup work and late work. So right now we have a lot of students who are sick. If your child is going to be absent, they need to either email me to talk about the work that they're missing in class, or they need to go on Schoology and look to see what they're missing. They have a week to make up missed assignments and missed quizzes, and they will complete their missing work in tutorials with either me or Miss Rabone. For example, we have a vocab quiz on Thursday. If your child is absent on Thursday, they'll have to come to tutorials the next week to make it up. And I can show you real quick on Schoology. I'll just exit out of the PowerPoint. I have everything on Schoology ready for the students. This is the student view of Schoology. They have a calendar that shows them what we're doing every day. Let's see if it loads. It's a daily calendar. It shows them what assignment they have. It shows them if there's a quiz. It shows them if there's homework. So like I'm filming on Monday. Today we're presenting vocab word cards in class, and tonight they have a vocab worksheet to do on Schoology for practice. The rest of the week we'll be working on a project. There's a quiz on Thursday. So anytime they're absent, they just need to go to the calendar and see what they're missing. Or they need to go into the daily folders on Schoology to get whatever notes they missed. Right now we're in Unit 0, so I'd click on that unit folder and then go to the day. And everything that we're using that day is in the folder. So today we're presenting vocab words. We have our vocab list. Once this child's class presents their vocab, there will be all the words and the definitions on here. Everything is listed on Schoology. So that's the place they want to go if they're absent. If they miss notes, the notes will be on Schoology. Last Monday, we talked about River Valley civilizations. We made a map of them. And if they were absent, here's the map all done for them. They just need to, look at it and read it and print it out. So makeup work, super important that they look on Schoology to see what they missed, or email me so I can explain to them what they missed and then come into tutorials to make everything up. Okay. Next is low quiz and test grades. If your child misses a test, they're going to make the test up when they come back to class. If they do not do well on that test, if they get below a 75, then they have 1 week to come to tutorials and retake it. The retake will be written, which gives the students a chance to tell me what they know. And those retakes will be in tutorial times, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And they have a week to do that. There is usually an extra credit assignment in a quarter to replace their lowest quiz grade. So that can help with their quiz scores if they find that they aren't doing so well on a quiz. They are not permitted to retake quizzes because we're not required to do retakes on quiz grades, but they can retake a test in the week after the test is given to get up to a 75. This is not really anything different than previous years, and this is Social Studies Department policy. In terms of homework, this is a college level course, so there are some things that the students have to do outside of class to be ready. I try not to overwhelm students with homework. I have my own children that are involved in after school activities, and I know that it's hard to manage everything sometimes. So I would say I would expect the students to have no more than 2 nights of reading per week. Sometimes it's 0 nights of reading. Like this week, there's no homework reading. Last week, there was 1 night of homework reading. So they will have no more than 2 nights of reading a week, and I will cap the reading to no more than 10 pages. I really can't think of a week coming up where they have 2 nights of reading, but they can see everything on the calendar on Schoology. Occasionally, there's a video to watch instead of a reading. I think they have a video to watch next week over trade. Occasionally, there's a Schoology practice assignment. Like today, Monday night, they had a practice assignment on Schoology, but that was for practice. And they do have test review questions that they can do for bonus points. Those will be posted on Schoology. I'll talk to the kids about them when we're getting close to the first test. Okay, again, Schoology has everything the students need. Everything's on Schoology, so if they're out, they need to go look on there. The other website that we'll use this year is AP Classroom. I sent an email about this. AP Classroom is a College Board website. It has resources for the students. It has practice test questions for the students. And I will make a practice test before every test we take in class that has our special stimulus-based questions on it. They're the kind of test questions that'll be on the AP exam. And doing those practice questions is a good way for students to review. So the point of this is that your child needs to have an AP Classroom account. They need to be in my AP Classroom course. We worked on signing up for AP Classroom last week on Thursday in class. A good amount of students were able to do it. I would say there's between 5 and 10 kids in each class period that have not gotten onto AP Classroom. So check with your child, make sure they've logged into AP Classroom and joined the course. If they have not, there's directions for how to do it on Schoology. And I can show you that real quick where it is on Schoology. I lost the mouse. For some of the students, they have, they can't remember their login information. Whoops, sorry, wrong page. And if that's the case for your child, if they can't get into their account because they don't remember their login information, they need to follow the directions on Schoology. It's in last Thursday's folder. And there is a phone number that they likely have to call to get their account reset by College Board so that they can get in. The phone number is located here. I had to do this last year for my child in AP Human Geography. We had to call the number to get her account reset. That number is only available for like an hour after school because College Board's on the East Coast and they close at 5, which is 4 our time. So if your child's not into AP Classroom, they probably have to call the number right after school. So please try to encourage them to do that because the school district requires that they be in AP Classroom by a certain date, and that date is coming up. So, and if you have specific questions about this, you can email me and I'll do my best to help. Okay, last thing, if your child is interested in dropping the course is not what they expected, then they need to request a schedule change. They can do that, I believe, on Schoology. It's the Schoology Student Counselor Corner page, and they have directions there from the counselors on how to drop the course. And if the kids want to talk to me about that and they need me to show them, I can show them, but it's on Schoology in the Counselor Corner page. Hopefully not many students need to drop. I've been pretty impressed so far with what I'm seeing in class. Again, as long as your child is putting forth the effort, doing their best, trying to make connections, instead of like playing games on their laptop, then most likely this course will go well for them. I'm here to help your child. If they ever need me, I'm here. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. I am here to help assist your child in any way I can this year. So thank you so much. I look forward to a fun and happy school year and hopefully lots of kids passing the AP exam and earning college credit. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see y'all later.